had a headache, but now I don't. Excedrin is fast.
In fact, for some, relief starts in just 15 minutes. Excedrin.
Wow, that was fast.
Tina Fey's got a special retirement gift for Dave. All new tonight.
A young woman went missing from a heroin den.
He took off with an armed kidnapper.
We are dealing with a heroin addict.
And I'm sorry.
Makes you wonder how far he'd be willing to go to find her.
Where are you?
Shooting gallery.
Elementary season finale next Thursday.
From the CBS Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is CBS 2 News at 11 p.m. Coverage you can count on.
Now at 11, it's just the beginning of a late season storm hitting the Southland with rain and snow.
And right now, thousands are without power because of lightning.
Good evening. I'm Pat Harvey.
And I'm Paul Majors. Our team is on storm watch.
And let's begin with Jackie Johnson tracking the wet weather. Jackie.
Thank you very much, Paul and Pat. And in fact, this is video taken from 10:30 this evening from Sky 2. You can see downtown in the distance over East LA, and the rain is just coming down. Most areas seeing almost a quarter inch of rain so far, and at isolated areas where we see the thunderstorm cells, we will see even more wet weather. And the thunderstorms have been in the metro areas. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. But first off, I want to show you where the heaviest cells are coming in off the Pacific. You can see toward Huntington Beach and Irvine, Anaheim, seeing some heavy rain right now into Santa Ana and heading to the north right around Riverside and Grand Terrace. We're seeing some heavy amounts of rain there. And Lake Elsinore along the 215 and the 15, we are seeing some light to moderate cells. Now I want to take you back a few hours and show you where the lightning was. There was plenty of lightning strikes right around Inglewood, Montebello, Downey, Vernon, and Hacienda Heights. That's where we saw the thunderstorm cell. So not only thunderstorms, but mountain snow, hail, a chance for water spouts. We've got it all. I'll tell you how long it'll last coming up in just a bit. Paul and Pat, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Jackie. CBS 2's Rachel Kim continues our team coverage.
And Rachel, what's it like in Silver Lake right now?
Well, Paul and Pat, here in Silver Lake, we've had spurts of rain, but generally light since about 7:30 tonight. Out here, you can see that the streets are definitely slick, and folks in many areas were caught off guard by tonight's rainfall. Shoppers ran for their cars in Irvine as a heavy rain came down in this parking lot. The sight was the same across the Southland. In East LA, residents saw lightning along with the downpour. A few people braved the weather on the Santa Monica Pier. Some even huddled together to keep warm. The rain didn't keep people off Hollywood Boulevard. Mother Nature timed her water show perfectly to begin after the stars of Mad Max had walked the red carpet at tonight's premiere. In the hills and mountains above Santa Clarita, they saw hail blanket the area of Green Valley. And this afternoon, a dust devil in Paris. It picked up dozens of tumbleweeds, scattering them across an intersection and onto cars. An LAPD officer in the area tells me they've seen no major accidents because of the rain, and residents we talked to say they welcome it. Reporting live tonight in Silver Lake, Rachel Kim, CBS 2 News.
And we have breaking news. A lightning strike has left thousands of residents in Bell without power.
And Stu Mundell is overhead in Sky 2 with the very latest on this. Stu?
Paul, Pat, it's happening out here in this Bell neighborhood. This was caused by a lightning strike, but I got some good news. There's still a lot of people without power out here. That's not the good news, but the good news is some of that power just came back on. Now, Edison was saying about 3,800 customers without power. That number's probably dropped quite substantially as some of that power has come back on. SoCal Edison's been out here. They're trying to get that power back on. They haven't said when it's going to happen. A lightning strike, that is the culprit that took out the power in the Bell neighborhood this evening, and this is all happening in the area of Gage and Atlantic in the city of Bell. Live in Sky 2, I'm Stu Mundell. Pat and Paul, back to you.
And we'll keep you posted on your morning commute conditions starting at 4:30 a.m. right here on CBS 2 and updates anytime on CBSLA.com.
Well, tempers flared in Venice tonight as angry residents met with the LAPD demanding answers about the deadly shooting of an unarmed homeless man. CBS 2's Erica Knocklin is live in Venice where tonight's meeting was held. Erica.
Pat, the meeting lasted more than 3 hours and it was packed, every seat taken, and people were even standing in the back, and no one seemed shy about expressing their opinions. Right away, as the meeting began, anger was apparent.
Totally understand your expression. Are you serious? Completely.
Venice residents, along with friends of Brendan Glenn, the unarmed homeless man shot and killed by an LAPD officer Tuesday night, loudly expressed sadness and frustration with police and city officials.
And you were frustrated?
Now that man that got shot, he was a good man and he didn't deserve it, and it was murder.
The crowd called for police to release security video of the shooting. LA's Inspector General and Deputy Chief of the Police Department's West Bureau responded.
My office specifically has been reviewing the video.
We cannot taint the memories of witnesses.
But concerns continued to pour in.
Has the shooter been interviewed?
I'm not aware whether that's occurred.
Police did not identify the officer involved and wouldn't confirm witness reports that this officer, seen on crutches here at the shooting site the next morning, is him.
One of the reasons that the crowd is so angry is they're seeing a lot of deflection.
Some people questioned why Police Chief Charlie Beck and DA Jackie Lacey were no-shows, but others say they were encouraged by Chief Beck's statement Wednesday that so far he has not seen the extraordinary circumstances in Tuesday's shooting to justify deadly force against an unarmed man.
But we haven't really heard that message from you here tonight.
As the criticism went on for hours, Police Commission President Steve Soberoff stopped the long line of speakers to defend the majority of officers.
And what 97% of these officers do that never use their guns shows the kinds of restraint.
Meanwhile, other friends of Brendan Glenn's gathered near the shooting site for a candlelight vigil. They wrote messages to Brendan on balloons, then let them go. Well, some people here tonight hope for continued dialogue with officials, but they also hope there will be no more vigils necessary. Live in Venice, Erica Knocklin, CBS 2 News.
A deadly deputy-involved shooting today in Cerritos. It all started with a call about suspicious people knocking on doors. Now that turned into a chase and ended with a crash on Pyrrhus Avenue. The driver was found dead inside the car after slamming into a fire hydrant. Earlier, a deputy tried to question the driver about the door knocks. Investigators say the driver accelerated and hit the deputy with the vehicle. That's when the deputy opened fire. A witness told us what he saw but didn't want to be on camera.
That's when I saw the gray car coming down the street, and he was going about 80 miles an hour, and then he just diverted straight into the wall, into the pole.
The deputy was injured. He was treated and released from the hospital tonight.
Caught on camera, San Jose police say a man was trying to sexually assault a teenage girl in her own home, but she fought back. Police say the man approached the 13-year-old girl at her doorstep pretending to be lost. He pushed through the front door. The girl explains what happened next.
And I tried to slam the door on him, but I couldn't. So he gets inside, then he tries to grab me. So I push him back, I try to get him off of me, and then I slam my hand into his face, and that's when he decides to get off of me.
The man eventually left. San Jose police believe he is the same man who attacked a woman inside a supermarket restroom last month. They are now trying to find him.
Only on to a fiery 79-year-old Southland man takes some action. He stopped a would-be burglar from breaking into his neighbor's Hesperia house. CBS 2 Inland Empire reporter Crystal Cruz talked to the Good Samaritan, who just wants to be identified as Richard.
And I kept seeing this guy, and he'd come over here and he'd go like this.
79-year-old Richard wasn't taking any lip from a suspected burglar Thursday, caught fussing around with his high desert neighbor's gate lock.
He said, well, Steve lives there. I said, he doesn't live here. You just better be on your way, or I'm going to shoot you. And he said, well, you wouldn't shoot me. I said, test me. Oh, I just had him like this, just like this. I said, you're not going anywhere. I told him to put his hands up on the fence like this or lay down on the ground.
The suspect took his chances and clocked Richard in the nose, bruising it.
I was right here, and he hit me hard and knocked me in the street right here, and my glasses went out that way. Rather than to swing at him, I just protected myself like this, and he beat on my back for 9 or 10 times, 8 or 9 times. And then I took my gun out and hit him in the foot with it, and he backed off. And he says, are you going to kill me? And I said, it's up to you.
A neighbor called police, and Richard had the suspect back in front of the lock where it all began.
He said, if I run, are you going to shoot me or kill me? I said, go for it. It was his choice, not mine.
The one-time military man always has a gun on him for safety reasons.
I'm not looking for any glory or anything. I just live in a neighborhood and want to be left alone.
Richard plans on pressing charges against the 25-year-old suspect arrested for battery. In Hesperia, I'm Crystal Cruz, CBS 2 News.
12 counties in Oklahoma are under a state of emergency tonight, and more severe weather is on the way. One person is dead after 51 tornadoes were reported in Oklahoma, Texas, Nebraska, and Kansas yesterday. At least 18 others were injured, and there is extensive damage in Bridge Creek, Oklahoma, where 25 homes were destroyed and an estimated 1,500 were damaged.
Frightening moments on board a Delta flight today as the cabin filled with smoke. The plane was headed to New York from Fort Lauderdale and had to make an emergency landing in South Carolina. No one was injured, and it's still unclear what caused the problem.
Only on to, it's been 4 years since the Southland family was devastated by a deadly shooting. A network executive who was about to become the father of twins was shot to death by a friend. Tonight, the victim's widow is speaking out about the event that changed her family forever and how she is now an advocate for gun safety. CBS 2's Peter Dowd has the story.
This is Dylan and Reese Kaplan back in 2011. Only 4 days after the twins were born and weeks after their father, Brian, an NBC executive, was shot and killed by his friend at a home in Porter Ranch. And these are the twins now with their mother, Christy, about to celebrate their 4th birthday without their dad.
I don't want anybody to have to go through what I went through. It was horrific.
The 32-year-old father was hanging out with his friend David Armstrong on St. Patrick's Day. They were in Armstrong's garage looking at guns when Armstrong shot Brian in the chest with an assault rifle. Armstrong pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter, claiming it was an accident. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison and ordered to pay nearly $4 million in restitution. In court, a devastated Christy shared her pain.
I can only imagine how Brian pleaded with Dave not to kill him.
Christy says losing Brian was the darkest time of her life, and she contemplated killing herself.
I did not think that I would live to see this day.
But she says her children kept her alive. Then, a year and a half ago, she remarried to a man she says has accepted her 3 kids as his own.
I believe that Brian honestly sent him.
Christy has not yet explained to her twins what happened to their dad, wanting to wait until they're old enough to understand. She's also become an advocate for gun safety, hoping her family's tragedy can make a positive difference. Christy says Armstrong has refused to apologize to her or accept responsibility for his actions. In Encino, Peter Dowd, CBS 2 News.
Christie supports LA's gun buyback just 2 days away. This is an effort by the city to get illegal and unwanted guns off the street. For more information on Saturday's event, just head to cbsla.com/gun buyback.
A member of the Silver Lake Neighborhood Council stepped down tonight after coming under fire for remarks she posted on Facebook. During an online debate about illegal immigration, Karen Speitel posted several remarks, including all illegals should have to work like slaves for free for every single citizen who came here the right way. Shame on the sneaky, lawless dregs who have no respect for the law and how hard real citizens have had to work to become legal. One fellow council member told us he was shocked when he read the comments.
I was so surprised and so taken aback because I know this person who wrote these things and used that language.
In a statement tonight, Speitel apologized for the remarks, saying, "I feel terrible. These comments have hurt so many members of the community. I was so proud of serving."
Hillary Clinton rubbed elbows with Hollywood's power players tonight. The Democratic presidential candidate attended 3 campaign fundraisers here. They were all private affairs. Singer Chris Brown Instagrammed a woman who allegedly broke into his Agoura Hills home. Brown says Amira Ayeb cooked several meals last night and even wrote, quote, "I love you" on the walls. She's being held on $50,000 bail.
Riverside police say a con artist tried to shake down local businesses for thousands of dollars. Rodolfo de Hoyos is accused of posing as an inspector and telling mom and pop businesses they violated the Disabilities Act. Police say he would trick them into paying up. De Hoyos raised eyebrows when he appeared in court today in a wheelchair. Officers say he's not disabled. His lawyer claims he was injured while in custody. One restaurant owner says De Hoyos tried to get $9,000 from her.
It's sickening. And then he calls us, and he called you and asked, well, what can you guys pay? So now it's let's make a deal.
DeHoyos is being held on $1 million bond and could spend 80 years behind bars if convicted.
The nail salon industry is under fire tonight, accused of exploiting its workers under paying them, keeping tips and not paying overtime. CBS 2's Jennifer Kastner shows us one local businessman's perspective.
Allegations of an ugly truth in the beauty industry. Nail salons in Los Angeles are accused of routinely underpaying employees who are struggling to survive.
On average, a nail salon worker will make about $13,000 a year. Minimum wage is $18,000 a year.
Rusty Hicks with the LA County Federation of Labor is backing an article released Thursday by the New York Times, finding manicurists are enduring debilitating low wages, wage theft, and abuse. Hicks says it's a major problem in LA, not just New York, and he says the obvious solution is an enforced minimum wage hike to $15 per hour. The owner of this Studio City nail salon doesn't want to go on camera, but says raising the minimum wage would cripple his business. He says he'd have to significantly raise the prices of services to avoid going under. The current California minimum wage, $9 an hour, is all he can do to scrape by. We tried talking to other salons in the area, but nobody wanted to be a part of our story. Hicks explains these workers as a group struggling for a voice.
We've been watching this issue for quite some time and are hoping that the city of LA will do something about it.
According to the Times, while New York City has the highest number of nail salons per capita in the country, both Los Angeles and San Francisco follow behind in second place. In Studio City, Jennifer Kastner, CBS 2 News.
If you've been getting a free alcoholic drink at your hair salon, turns out that's illegal. An assemblyman representing Anaheim is trying to fix that, though. Today, the assembly approved a bill that would make it okay for barbershops and salons to offer free beer and wine. The legislation goes to the Senate next.
Well, right now, are you on your phone, tablet, or computer? CBS 2's Elsa Ramon talks to a Santa Monica woman who realized she had an addiction and had to go through a digital detox.
I was just noticing panic if I didn't have my charger for my iPhone.
Mary Wiggins of Santa Monica describes her constant feelings of anxiety.
Anxiety over thinking I didn't return that email or still have 5 texts to return, like a prisoner to my digital world.
One more big giant breath here. For Mary, a massage therapist and yoga instructor, where she teaches people to be present, her dependence on digital devices became troubling.
I realized I was digitally addicted when I was leaving, present moments with my friends to go filter a photo so that I could put it on Instagram.
Concerned by her behavior, Mary decided to do her own digital detox.
A digital detox is the process of taking a break from your digital activities.
Karen North is the director of USC's Annenberg program on digital social media. She specializes in social media and psychology.
Among the most discussed advantages of taking a break from social media or digital media is to get a little perspective.
So, are you a digital addict? North says you might be a digital addict in need of your own digital detox if you have some or all of the following symptoms.
Think your behavior is negatively impacting your life. Feel anxiety or distress when separated from digital devices or activities. Use social media to capture experiences instead of enjoying them in the moment. Find yourself transferring digital activity behavior like driving fast in the real world as you would in a video game. Or if you get too caught up in your avatar, emoji, or emoticons.
My goal was to just reconnect to myself.
Though Mary admits there's never a good time to digitally disconnect and go off the grid, she took the first step and decided to not use her digital devices at a friend's weekend birthday party in Lake Arrowhead. Waking up to the sounds of birds chirping, jumping into the freezing cold lake, basically living the experience.
I learned through doing the detox that it's something I need to do more often.
After her digital detox, Mary made changes in her life to manage her digital usage.
I switched from using my iPhone to using a traditional digital alarm clock, which has helped me not pick up my phone right away in the morning. I found myself overly apologizing, and now I just respond when I respond.
Mary also doesn't wear headphones anymore. She unplugs when she walks her dog. And while most will find it nearly impossible to digitally disconnect, Mary encourages others to first try, even for just half a day.
I'm such an advocate for social media, but also reconnecting or connecting to your world right around you.
Elsa Ramon, CBS 2 News.
And we have breaking news in Echo Park.
Yeah, let's go up to Stu Mundell in Sky 2 over a crash on the 101.
That's right, 101 freeway northbound, right at Glendale, Echo Park area. Wet roads may have played a part in this accident. You can see 3 lanes taken away. And with this traffic collision with injuries involving a news van, not a news van from CBS or KCAL, but from another station out here in the area. We do hope everybody in that van is okay. Look at that back up there, the northbound 101 really backed up all the way to the 110 freeway. Live in Sky 2, I'm Stu Mundell. Pat and Paul, back to you.
All right, thank you, Stu. You could really see how slick the roads are from that shot he gave
What
us.
a mess that is. And everybody has to worry about the morning commute as well.
Yes, they certainly do. We'll be on top of that.
Yeah, let's check in with Jackie.
That's right, Paul and Pat and everyone. Just know it is going to be slick out there tomorrow morning. Most of the rain will come down into the overnight hours, so it will be slow to go tomorrow morning. Just be careful out there. We're taking a live look outside right now. There's downtown LA, and we're seeing pretty good rainfall amounts so far. Most areas seeing about 1/10 to 1/4 inch of rain, and we're not done yet. It has just begun. We are even still seeing some thunderstorm activity. Let's go right to the radar so I can show you where exactly we are seeing some heavier cells. Most of those now are in Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino County. This particular cell right off the coast of Huntington Beach, that has lightning with it moving toward Irvine. We're also seeing a heavier cell right around the Anaheim area. Santa Ana seeing some light to moderate rain. But right around Costa Mesa, that's where we're seeing heaviest rain right now. And again, there is lightning associated with this cell. We can't rule out the possibility of funnel clouds and also water spouts and the possibility of hail over the next 24 hours. As we head further to the north in San Bernardino, the heavier cell that we were watching earlier is starting to die down just a bit, but this is going to be the trend. It's going to be hit or miss, and we will see lightning. And take a look. There was the lightning that moved through LA County earlier this evening, and also that cell that we were watching right around the Costa Mesa Huntington Beach area, also seeing some lightning with it. Now, this is all from an area of low pressure, very cold core aloft, so a lot of instability with the storm system as it passes overhead. We will continue to have the threat of thunderstorm activity, and this will continue overnight tonight through tomorrow morning. Snow levels dropping because it's so cold out there. Snow levels will be as low as 5,000 feet, so there is a winter weather advisory for the mountains of San Bernardino and Riverside counties, and also a wind advisory. Take a look at the strong winds gusting almost to 30 miles an hour. Again, cool temperatures out there. Take a look at the timestamp at the top of your screen. You can see as we head into the overnight hours, these showers and storms actually become most numerous right around 3:30 in the morning, but by your morning commute, we will see the wet roadways, and we will still have that chance for thunderstorm activity throughout the day tomorrow. Temperatures into the mid to lower 60s. We do clear it up in time for the weekend, especially your Mother's Day is going to be absolutely beautiful. Paul and Pat, back to you.
All right, thank you, Jackie. Up next here at 11, flirting with trouble, the new findings about how many married people are on a popular dating app.
Plus, it's Throwback Thursday on the red carpet. Find out the surprise guest at tonight's Mad Max premiere.
Have you heard? The current Mega Millions jackpot is over $120 million. So what are you waiting for? Get out and buy your ticket today. Mega Millions from the California Lottery. Drawings every Tuesday and Friday. You're still sitting there? Maybe you didn't hear. The current Mega Millions jackpot is over $120 million. That's over $120 million. So buy your ticket today. Mega Millions from the California Lottery. Imagine what a buck could do.
When I was young, I was living on the streets. I know how hard it is.
17. You haven't got a husband. You're going to have a baby.
I had a dream, but today I have my explanation. I need to find a way to help these kids. I have everything left to prove.
Noble, rated PG-13, starts Friday only in theaters.
We live in an age of searching to find solutions.
to find ourselves, to find the truth. Now imagine an age in which the predictability of science and the wisdom of religion combine. Welcome to the age of answers.
Nissan gave a lucky few the ride of their life in the 2015 Nissan Altima. Nissan Altima with blind spot warning and up to 270 horsepower. Get the ride of your life at your local Nissan store. Lease the 38 MPG Highway Altima just $189 per month, or choose 0% financing for up to 72 months. Offers end June 1st. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Nissan, innovation that excites.
He was an icon to generations.
He's Dad.
Now, for the first time, Leonard Nimoy's daughter reveals cherished memories. How she's honoring his final wish. Friday at 11.
Aerial coverage from Sky 2 is brought to you by Stater Brothers, where you always get more for less.
A surprise guest at tonight's Hollywood premiere for the highly anticipated film Mad Max Fury Road. Mel Gibson showed up, the original Mad Max. Tom Hardy takes over the role Gibson made famous. Charlize Theron also stars in the movie that comes out a week from tomorrow. This is the first Mad Max movie in 30 years.
Well, turns out many of the people on the popular dating app Tinder may already be attached. Global Web Index says out of the 47,000 users it surveyed, 30% were married. Another 12% said they were already in a relationship. And overall, there seemed to be more men than women. 62% of users surveyed were also male.
I'm Jim Hill. Coming up in sports, the Dodgers go for a series split in Milwaukee against the Brewers. And Tom Brady speaks for the very first time since the NFL released its finding on Deflategate. We'll have that and more for you, and that's next in sports.
CBS 2 News is sponsored by James Patterson's new Women's Murder Club, 14th Deadly Sin.
James Patterson with a question. What is the 14th deadly sin? Is it lust, greed, murder, or worse?
The Women's Murder Club has the answers in 14th Deadly Sin by James Patterson.
Huh. Should probably fix that.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Better get Mako. For a limited time, Mako's lowest price paint surface is on sale for only $3.99. Mako, America's Body Shop.
It took Tim Morehouse years to master the perfect lunge. But only one attempt to master depositing checks at Chase ATMs. Technology designed for you, so you can easily master the way you bank.
Dad, don't come looking for me.
I wouldn't normally release someone with this type of infection.
Critics are calling Maggie one of the creepiest, most original, gutsy, and audacious discoveries of the year.
She's probably going to show more signs of aggression and hunger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is fantastic.
Quarantine is 8 weeks in.
It's unlike anything he has done before. Abigail Breslin is magnificent.
I will protect you.
Maggie, rated PG-13, starts Friday.
It's Empire Today's biggest sale, the 50-50-50 sale. 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation. That's right, half off your entire project. You can save thousands. Empire's 50-50-50 sale won't last long. Don't miss 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
I managed the Dodgers for 20 years. We went to 4 World Series, and I think this club here is capable of doing it, but you got to do it together. You got to play for the name on the front of your shirt and not for the name on the back of your shirt. And by golly, we'll be celebrating in October.
Hi. Hi, we're here to look at a Camry.
We just came from a birthday party.
Oh, let me get you a new one. Those Camrys are so reliable.
Yeah.
And you gotta love that bold new styling. Here you go.
Whoa.
Wow,
Those balloon towers don't make themselves.
For the first time ever, you can get 0% financing for 60 months on any bold 2015 Camry, including the fuel-efficient Camry Hybrid.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Jay. Now you both have Camrys.
Yeah. Toyota, let's go places.
The Sports Report on CBS 2 is sponsored by your Southern California Toyota dealers.
We begin sports this evening in baseball, and the Dodgers, who were going for a series split at Miller Park today at Milwaukee against those Brewers. And what a game it was for Yasmani Grandal. He picked it up in the 8th inning right here. It's 7-3 Dodgers, 2 men on for Grandal, who sends this Rob Wooden pitch deep to right field. And now the Dodgers have a 7-run lead at 10-3. But he wasn't finished, not by a long shot, because he hits another 3-run homer in the 9th inning. He finished 4 for 4, a career high 8 runs batted in, one shy of a franchise record. Dodgers win big 14-4. You asked for the Angels. Well, they were looking for their 3rd straight win, opening up a 4-game series with the Astros. It was tied at 2 in the 9th inning. Bases loaded for Jose Altuve. He hits a soft grounder to second base. The Angels can't turn the double play. Houston scored 3 times in the 9th inning off Houston Street, and they win it by a score of 3-2. Now to the NBA playoffs, and the Clippers, who will host the Houston Rockets tomorrow night at the Staples Center in Game 3 of their best-of-7 series. Early today, via conference call, head coach Doc Rivers talked about Chris Paul's progress for his hamstring injury, and his status right now is still uncertain.